Talk about Genesis 19 and 20. We getting ready. Yeah, to talk about the
No,
Genesis
sir. No, you're doing too much now.
19 and
You doing
20.
no, sir. No, sir.
We're going to talk about this here foolishness.
Mm.
That's in Genesis. All right, for those of you who are watching this thinking that this is a Christian show, it is not.
No, not at
For
all.
those of you who just saw the title and you just clicked on it, you thought that, oh, they're going to talk about the Lord. No, we're not talking about the Christian Lord here. We are not. For those of you who get angry about this station and about these videos, it's because the video is not for you. This video is for people who have walked away from traditional religions and they are saying to themselves, I need more information as to why I've walked away from this religion. So we're going to talk about those things because Christians often say, well, you have not read your Bible. You have not read your Bible, and you have not read your Bible in the Spirit. You have not understood
Not
it
on the spit.
in the Spirit. You have not
Spirit.
understood it from the Spirit. And that is why the Lord has not brought himself to you. Now, if you pray really, really hard,
Really hard.
and ask Jesus to come into your life and to guide you, then you will be able to read this book through the Spirit and come to a Jesus understanding, because you're not to lean to your own understanding, but lean to the understanding of the Holy Spirit and the Lord, because that's what people who wrote this book 2,000 years ago up to recently have written it based on the Spirit of the Lord.
And the
Hence
Spirit
why
of the
there's
Lord.
slavery and there's the genocide and there's the killing of women and the mistreatment of women and all those sorts of things.
Oh my.
But if you read it from the Spirit, you will understand that God's plans are not your plans. God's reasoning is
Absolutely.
not your reasoning. Therefore, you have to. And
I had to you rolled
yes,
the tongue.
I rode the tongue, rode the tongue.
Okay.
So you will come to an understanding. But what we are doing here is that we are reading this book with the spirit of consciousness by using logic. Well, first, before we get to logic, we are reading it to gain the information for exactly what it says.
Yes.
Then we are employing logic, gaining understanding of it from what it said based on the time frame it was written and the bullshittery.
Bullshittery.
Yeah, bullshittery.
Yeah,
Making it
that's
up, bullshittery. Yeah,
Sure,
I said
that's it.
shittery, but
Yeah, that's right. They
little
don't pronounce
Irish
the
mixed
T's.
in.
Yeah. You watch yourself.
The
Watch yourself.
bullshittery. So that we can
Yes.
walk in the wisdom of knowing that we are fully realized conscious beings who have said that traditional religions are not for us, that we are truly enlightened beings experiencing a human experience so that our souls can travel back to whence it came,
Oh.
so that we truly become one with the cosmic universe, exploring all that we are, not this temporary poverty of hell that exists here on earth. So if you're looking at this video,
Video.
gotta get a little country, this
Video.
video,
Okay, I'm about to say now. Hold on.
thinking that it's going to be
Right.
promising
okay.
to converting those over.
Peace. Peace, raw and uncut.
And believe me, we're not trying to convert anyone. If you're a Christian and you love your God, then realize we're not
think-
trying to convert you over.
This is
No.
just not the place for you, sugar.
Yes, this is just not your place.
Yeah.
So keep your thumbs down and your hate for yourself, okay? And let us enjoy our moments.
Absolutely.
Now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Hey.
How y'all doing out there? Who is that?
That is raw and uncut. You
Raw
got
and
a cigarette.
uncut.
Oh,
Got
you
your
got the
cigar
cigar
ready? All right, now, bro, we got that cigar. Now this is right here is the you may not have this in your town, but local. Well, actually, he's in quite a few lounges around in other states, but this is Deuces Maduro. It here full body.
And this is an acid blondie.
Yeah.
It's a little one.
Yeah.
It's a lady cigarette.
Don't say that. Some dudes smoke acid blind.
Oh, oops, my bad. I'm sorry.
There are dudes who smoke those.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, like a little lunchtime smoke.
Oh, okay.
Guys who like flavored cigars.
Oops.
Just harassing them.
My bad. Maybe they like them some like
So
that.
for
Maybe
those-
that's what it is.
You know, one thing we don't say, but you try to find it. All right. Tuscaloosa.
Okay.
Hell, just drive on up here. I got something.
I'm
For you.
about to say, you not that far.
Make a
Come
weekend.
on to Atlanta.
Make a weekend out.
Yes.
So tonight we're going to talk about
Yes.
Genesis. We're continuing our reading of the Bible because we don't read our Bible, and I mean to be like sarcastic. We're doing Genesis. We're up to Genesis 19 and 20, and we're going to continue with this story of Abraham. Right? Hey, why people? Why? We're going to continue with this story with Abraham. And we just left off last week. If you didn't see the video last week, or the last time, because now we're doing this just whenever we have the opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
We got this rain going on from this hurricane, so we figure we got time to do this tonight, so that nobody's probably going to walk into the lounge, at 8:46.
Yeah.
They
We'll
might,
close at 10.
because it stopped
We'll
raining
see.
for a minute.
We'll see. But I don't think so. I
don't
think we'll
think
be
so
okay
either.
tonight.
Nah, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. Now this is gonna have both of them together.
Okay, so
you
we're
gotta
doing
see.
19 and 20.
19 and 20.
All right.
And see, that's where 20 gonna start. So you don't have to change pages.
Oh, ooh, I got something to read today.
So last time we talked about Abraham and all his chicanery going on with God having to. Should I tell Abraham? Because I don't know. Abraham might change my mind. I don't really want to tell Abraham what I'm doing because I just said Abraham is righteous. So we went through all that bullshit about Abraham bartering with God.
No, actually, he checked God.
Yeah, he checked him.
He checked him. He
checked
didn't really.
him.
I mean, come on.
And we went through how, God was concerned about whether Abraham was going to approve,
Of what he was doing.
and then got bartered down to 10 people.
Yes.
Of course, I'm sure there were 10 infants. What? Tonight, we actually get into the drama. The drama.
The drama.
That is Sodom and Gomorrah, as well as the drama of Abraham. And they're kind of repeating a story with the Egyptians, but this time it's with Amalek. So we're going to get into the drama of Abraham and Amalek.
All right.
And we're going to break it down for what it's worth. If there's anything good in it, we'll say what's good. If it's something you can pull from it that's good, we'll take that. We'll take it.
Okay, yeah.
We take wisdom if it's good.
Absolutely.
But the bullshittery, the chicanery,
We can't have.
the mistreatment of humans, of people, we gonna call that BS out.
All right now.
All right. So
Hello.
today, of course, my reader and co-conspirator, Wakila. Let me tell y'all something. When we pre-look at these, if she don't feel like it has enough drama in it and BS, she don't even do it with me. She be like, you go ahead and do that by yourself.
But you see, I've been here though.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of drama.
Until we get to the
And
BS,
BS.
some boring stuff. I bet you we was doing Chronicles, she'd be like, you go ahead and do that by yourself.
Probably. We'll see. We'll see.
All right.
Stan Mancy's talking to you. He said, glad to see you back dropping jewels, coach.
Hey, man, appreciate you. Think that. Thank you. Yeah, I'm back, man. I'm back. I tried to get away from this stuff
Like
for a
you never
while,
left.
but y'all got me coming back.
Like it never left.
So here we go. All right. Read.
And there came two angels to Sodom at even. And Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them. And he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. Amen.
I can't.
What?
I can't. It's stupid.
That's how they is doing
It's
it.
so stupid. What
That's
you
how they-
Hebrew Israelite?
That's how he's reading, right? Okay, let's go.
So we know. So now we.
I'll read it for I'll read-
In the previous chapter, we know that Abraham was talking to the Lord. It was a capital L, and he had two angels with him, right? And the fact of the matter is, it was a capital L meaning Yahweh. Now, that was an interesting thing that I thought about from last time we did a video. was the fact that these stories were written before the term Yahweh. Like these stories were written at the time frame where they was calling them Yahweh, but the time frame that these are supposed to be set in, the term Yahweh didn't exist.
Yeah.
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 So they're just adding in. And if you really think about it, this is why I always go to the Sumerian stories, because the Sumerian stories were around at this time frame. Right? And it was around at the time frame that the redactors of Hezekiah and Josiah was doing all this writing in about 500 BCE. And the thing about it is, if you replace Yahweh, Lord, with Anunnaki, then you get an understanding that this is Enlil and Enki. So this Lord is Enlil, but then the Lord decided he was going to let the two angels, two of the lower level Anunnaki, go out and do his thing. And here's the thing that people always crack me up about. They say that Christianity doesn't have polytheism in it, but yet people are constantly bowing down to angels, constantly calling angels Lord, constantly
People, Lord.
prompting up angels.
Yeah.
So if people are acting towards angels in worship, is that not a form of polytheism? And if God has to have angels to do his bidding down here, isn't that the same way that Zeus sends Athena or Hercules or any of those? Is that the same way that any other polytheistic, that they think is polytheistic, that like Amun or Amun-Ra would send Osiris and Isis and Horus or Heru, Aset, and Asar, when it is real. But then a Christian would say, oh, the angels are just kind of like aspects of God. But isn't that the same thing? Is not Krishna and Hanuman aspects of Brahma? It's the same damn thing. Okay. But we got two angels who showed up, and Lot bowed down to him. Because I'm just saying, if you ain't God,
Sure did.
if you ain't God, what the fuck what am I bow down for? You just an angel, bro.
Yeah.
You ain't
Yeah.
you ain't that special.
Oh, get on my level.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. What do you mean? I'm bowing down to you for what? No.
Yeah, I'm not. Go ahead.
Okay, excuse me.
Read.
And he said,
Really?
Okay.
Y'all see what I got to deal with.
And he said, behold now, my lords, turn in. I pray you into your servant's house and tarry all night and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early and go on your ways. And they said, nay, but we will abide in the street all night.
Hold on now. Aren't these angelic beings? How they feet get dirty? I'm just saying, how they feet get dirty. People don't ask that question.
That's interesting.
If you're an angelic being, if you're energetic, if you're godlike and all that kind of stuff, like in the previous chapter, God and the two angels, they needed to rest. They ate some meat, they ate some food, they washed their feet, they did all this stuff. And
these are people. That's what it sounds
right,
like.
they Anunnaki. But yeah, they people like. And then they're gonna abide in the streets all night. Why? If I come to burn your house down, I'm not gonna say, hey, I'm gonna sit here on the sidewalk all night, then I'm gonna burn your damn house down. No. They're just gonna come up, burn your damn house down, and keep it moving.
Well.
But they gotta abide all night.
All right.
Go ahead.
And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him and entered into his house. And he made them a feast, and he did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both young and old, all the people from every quarter.
Now, wait. Why? So we skipping a little something here, because this story, there's a story in Judges. Okay, so I want you guys to. I can't remember what it is now. Okay. But there's a story in Judges where two angels come and they want to sleep in the square, and the dude is like, no, don't sleep in the square, because if you roll over and expose your booty, you might get some rump rangers coming.
Oh no!
But why is there this fear two times? And the stories are very similar. I'm gonna relate this story back and forth. So I gotta find in Judges where this same story is. I forget who the people are. But you got two strangers come to a town. They want to sleep in the county in the square, But then here's this one supposedly righteous person who says, no, 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 my lords. Come and stay with me. Stay in my house. Because it's not good for you to stay outside. Because if you stay outside, they may give you rangers. And they may want your booty. So but they got to come in the house. And what do you do? They came in the house and he made them some food and they ate.
Yes.
I didn't know angels eat. Again, what's with the angels eating? I thought they were spiritual beings.
That's
But they
interesting.
had to manifest in the flesh.
Because they was coming to the earthly realm, so they needed to be fleshy.
Now, does that not?
For them, what?
But I'm glad you said that. Does that not let you know that even if you accept these as spirit beings, in order for them to exist on this plane of existence, they have to come into a poverty suit, the body.
Yes.
Right? In the same way that when we leave this shit, when we first came here, we came as spirit beings and we had to manifest that vibration, that frequency had to get right so that we can exist in this matter plane. Otherwise, we can't exist here. But while we're here, we must abide by this fleshly body so that we can then function. But even these angels still have to eat and rest and shit and piss and do everything else in that fleshly body so that you can live, so you can exist here. Which tells me that when you are departing here, if you got your consciousness right, then you ain't coming back, that you will exist out of the flesh in a spirit form. Because that's what a Christian would tell you, that they go back into the spirit realm.
Yeah.
So if you are made in the image of God, then why is it so difficult for Christians to recognize that when you leave here, you will go back into a spirit form and not go to, and what they say, when you go in Revelations, you're going to have a new body. Why do I need a new body in a spirit realm? And if you were Jehovah's Witness, they tell you that you're going to come back and live on this earth for the new earth that's created.
That's correct.
But if I have ascended and I'm supposed to be in heaven, why do I need a physical body? And let me throw you another curve for you. And in that book of Revelation, it tells you that there are 12 trees that produces 12 fruits, and you can eat from the tree of life and all that. If you're in the spirit realm, why the hell do you need to eat?
Why do you need to eat? What is with the golden floors and the pearly gates and anything? Why would you need in a spirit form? What do you need with material earthly things?
Right.
And people talk, they say that, oh, I don't want to go to hell. I don't want my spirit to burn. How does your spirit burn, sugar?
Right.
How is your spirit?
Unless you got a body.
Okay.
So
unless it's a spiritual fire, because you're a spirit. But how does your spirit burn? Fire is something that is earthly.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a holy fire. How is a fire holy? I mean, fire is gonna burn. It's tormenting. How is that holy in any form or fashion?
Right.
You know, it doesn't make sense. And what do we got there? Nisi. Hey, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Subscribe to the channel. Welcome to the family. Oh, y'all go subscribe. Welcome to the family. Go ahead, baby. Read. Wait. So
Listen,
they lay down, they sleeping?
I'm sorry, because I have to catch myself.
No.
You got to do something other than read, because it make me want to.
Okay. It's just, okay, when I was
it does something to me.
when I was in Florida, there was this televangelist dude, and that's what he would say all the time. Read.
Yes.
Then he'd be like, stop right there.
Yeah. And they got to be all that special. And they called
And I used
too loud.
I watched it for the entertainment value.
Oh, did you?
It was funny as hell.
I believed it. I was all into. I believed it for real. So, I know. You should have seen me. I was like, no, this can't be true. But
You free now, baby. You free now.
yeah, I'm free. Eyes free. All right. Let's see. And they called unto Lot and said unto him, where are the men which came to us where are the men which came into thee this night? Bring them out unto us that we may know them.
Hold on. Biblically know them. When they say that we may know them.
They meant, hey, how you doing?
Nah.
No?
No.
The family?
No. They want some of that angelic booty. You know, I'm just saying.
Ooh.
They probably done had some women booty. They done had some other dude booty. They done had some children booty. I'm sure they probably had some goat booty. and some
Oh, this
cow
is
booty
terrible.
and
Okay.
all that.
No, you didn't say the
But
babies.
now they got a chance to have some angelic booty. Now you know, that one time booty. You want some angelic booty.
That's a doggone shame, boy.
I mean, it's just like people running around here be like, man, you know, have you had some, you know, African booty, or you had some, you know, some Italian booty, or some Turkish booty, or some Chinese booty? You know, they some new booty came in.
This men, go ahead.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. And
It ain't just men that act that way. It's not just
well,
men.
in this book.
In this book, yeah.
Okay.
In this book, these dudes are some horny toads.
Yes.
But when they say they want to know them and they all up at Lot's house, it's because they want to get some. So
Mm-hmm.
that to know them, like, hey man, how you doing?
No,
Let's
that
have
ain't
a
what they're
beer
talking
together.
about.
Let's smoke a stick. No.
No.
They want to stick something else.
Ooh.
So they want to get to know them. All right.
And Lot went out at the door unto them, and shut the door after them, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Behold, now I have 2 daughters, which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes.
Hold on. Hell on.
Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof.
All right.
See this?
See now, this might give a little validity
That made me feel some kind of way.
as to why God said that God in this book said that he couldn't find 10 righteous people. Because there ain't no way in hell Lot's righteous.
No.
Now later on we're going to find out that these angels deemed Lot as righteous. But how this man, and ladies, why do y'all read this book? Why would y'all believe in a book where it is okay for a man to say, hey, look him, I don't want y'all to have to give up no angel booty.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to give to
My
you
babies.
my daughters who haven't known my
They're virgin daughters.
to a rape mob. Now in the book of Judges,
And you do what you would.
and if somebody can
with them.
remind me of who it is in the book of Judges, the same shit happens. It's like these people. It's kind of like when you watch a movie. It's like if you watch a Marvel movie, then you watch a DC movie, and they just copying the Marvel movie.
Yeah.
They just copied the same thing in Judges, but instead they say, "Oh, we're gonna throw a little twist in. It ain't gonna be 2 virgin daughters." The man said, "I'll give you my concubine and my wife."
Okay.
I mean, because they had to up the stakes
Okay.
in the book of Judges. They had to up the stakes. 2 daughters, 2 virgin daughters.
They already
Okay,
did
you
that.
only had 2 virgin daughters. I gave my wife and a concubine. You playing spade? Ha! On that one. But this,
You got the big joker.
you got the big joker, big joker and a little joker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's if you play jokers, you know. Jokers wild out.
Like my granddad would say, "Sit time in Georgia, sit time." But I mean, where's the morality in this?
Yeah,
How is
that's
that
it.
more? How is Lot looked upon as a righteous man? And later on, I'm gonna tell y'all in a few minutes about Lot's genealogy. And then I'm telling you, if you Christian, this is trigger warning, trigger warning. Because when I tell you about Lot's genealogy, you're gonna be like, "Oh hell no."
And
But
it's like, yeah. Yeah. But that's funny because that's a running theme in Christianity. That the scummiest people are deemed righteous.
right.
The scummiest people.
Thank you for subscribing.
Yes. So that's nothing. We just getting to the tip, but we haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg.
And it might be a thing where people feel like if I write about the worst person being glorified by God, it makes them feel better about their unrighteousness.
I think it
I'm
clears
better.
them.
Yeah, because I'm better than Lot. I'd have killed all of them.
Listen. Most people are more righteous than anybody in the Bible, including God.
Yeah, well, yes, this is true.
And that's real. For
Because
real.
genocide, God getting ready to genocide a whole town with little
And
children.
he don't mind either.
Yeah, it's like, hey, they wickedness vexed me.
Ain't no big thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
So Lot go outside. He told him, "Don't get no angel booty. I got 2 daughters. You can have a booty.
That's right.
Do what you will with them."
And they said, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came into sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Let me see this again. Y'all forgive me. And they said, stand back.
Stand back.
And
Lot.
they said, this one fellow came into sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now will we deal excuse me, now will we deal worse with thee than with them. And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door.
So basically, because
Yeah,
Lot told them, "Come on, y'all, don't be no rapist." So now they mad at Lot, saying that you came here as a stranger, punk, and now we gonna do to you worse than we was planning on rump rangering the angels. So now they all up on the door, and they about to kick Lot's ass.
Yes. They was going to kick his
They gonna kick it, and then they gonna
Trying to
stick
take
it.
it? That's what I
Kick it
thought.
and stick it.
Ew.
Kick it and stick it. Kick it and stick it.
All right, baby.
Okay.
Okay. All right. but the men put forth their hand.
These are the angels.
And pulled Lot into the house to them and shut the door. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door.
Hold on. So these angels, they got the power to blind everybody.
Yes, everybody.
But they still had to go into Lot's house for safety. But they could have blinded everybody. They was good. They could have stayed out in the square.
Yeah.
If they got that kind of power. And I actually had it taught where a pastor was saying, well, they needed to test Lot to see if Lot would defend them. But in Lot's, and this what got me kind of kicked out of that church. I said, but Lot's defense of them is to give away his virgin daughters. How is that him passing the test? You get an F no matter what on that, because, oh, I'll defend you by saying you can have my virgin daughters. That's because, ladies, your value in this book is worthless.
Zero.
You have no. This man is willing, and you know he gets a dowry for them virgins, but he was willing to give up the virgins.
He's just gonna give them up.
But if they could have blinded them, why were they hiding? Why didn't they step out first and be like, you know, Platu, Varata, Nectu?
He could have already took care of that.
Yeah, but no. Go ahead, Ray.
All right. And the men said unto Lot, hast thou here any besides son-in-law and thy sons and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place. For we will destroy this place, because of the cry of them is waxen great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord has sent us to destroy it.
Hold on. Oh, the damn phone. So first of all, they asked him, like, do you have anybody else? Shouldn't they know this already? I mean, they're angels. You should know shit before you roll up. But here's what's interesting. He said that because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of the Lord. Now, and that's a capital L, meaning God, Yahweh, okay, Enlil. Now, before when he was bartering with Abraham about are there 10 righteous people in there, and he's like, nah, I'm still gonna go destroy this city. God in this book, Yahweh has a boner just to destroy this city. He loves the genocide. Gotta have him some nice genocide, because if there are people crying out to him concerning the treatment and the wickedness, then certainly there are good people in this city who don't deserve to be killed. And evidently he said to those who are waxing, meaning not Lot. Because you got to understand, Lot was not a poor man in this city.
No.
Lot had sheep and cattle, and he had all kind of stuff. But it's like they disregard all that. I know there was a little war, and Lot got captured, so I'm sure some of his stuff was taken. But Lot is in this city. He got a house, he got daughters, he got a wife, he got son-in-law.
Yeah, he all right.
He all right in this city, right? But this God is so bloodthirsty for it. And I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all a little part of this. This story in the Sumerian version ain't got nothing to do with Lot. None of it.
Okay.
Sodom and Gomorrah were cities that were controlled by Enki and Marduk. And Enki and Marduk were at war with Enlil. So, and this was a great communication center for all their armies, as well as a supply depot. And he blasted that shit with some nuclear weapons. Because the area that they have found, the area that they deemed to be Sodom, and it's still slightly radiated. Unlike any other part of Israel. It's slightly radiated. But go ahead. And I'm going to tell you something about another little part, bring you back to that. Right? Oh, and here's a swerve. In the Judges book, they swerve you The angels didn't do all that blinding the men and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Nah, the angels said, all right, go ahead and give them your wife and your daughters, your wife and your concubine, right?
Okay.
Gave him the wife and the concubine, and the dominoes fell. Because then in the morning, when the dude came out to see his wife and concubine, the wife was dead, concubine dead. They boned her to death. They raped them to death. Then this dude said, I'm going to cut up my wife into 12 pieces.
Okay. I noticed. Okay.
I'm going to cut up in 12 pieces. I'm going to send a messenger to all the 12 tribes of Israel. And when the 12 tribes, then they just, I guess they got an elbow and was like, huh, I know who elbow this is. And then they came back, and then they genocided a whole bunch of people, even one of their own tribe, the tribe of Benjamin. Almost killed all of them except for like 300-400 jokers. But then after they finished that, well, no, it might have been the tribe of Benjamin. I'm missing it. I might be messing that part up. But then they said, oh, damn, okay, Benjamin, we ain't going to let y'all die out. So we're going to go and conquer somebody else and get you some wives. Kill all the men, kill all the women, kill all the boys, keep the little girls as your wives. But only 200 little girls were there. So then they went and stole some other little girls. No, 300 was there. Then they went and stole 200 from another Israeli tribe, Hebrew tribe, and stole them while they was out partying and dancing, and then had sex with them. And then told the other guys, don't get mad, they needed some wives, damn. And they already had sex with them, so they married. That's how ridiculous this shit is. But that's the swerve in Judges. Same story, and then they swerve you. But just wanted to give y'all that little bit right now. Go ahead.
And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-laws, which married his daughters.
Huh?
Which daughters?
Now he had 2 daughters. Remember, he was gonna give up the 2 daughters.
Okay, but this is talking about he spoke to his sons-in-laws, which married his daughters. So he must be had other daughters, not them.
No, it's them 2. Said which married his daughters. So the angel said, we're gonna destroy everything. Son-in-laws, come on in here and have sex with my daughter so y'all can be married to him. Essentially, that's what he's saying. Which married, mean past tense, his daughters.
Let me finish. Okay. And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-laws, which married his daughters, and said, up, get you out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-laws.
So they thought he was full of shit.
Yeah. And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in iniquity of the city. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand and upon the hand of his wife and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him, and they brought them forth and set him without the city.
But got Lot's older, and mind you, Lot's like in his 70s, 80s at this point.
Oh, okay. Let's see. And it came to pass when they had brought them forth abroad, and he said, escape for thy life. Look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain. Escape to the mountains, lest thou be consumed.
Right. So here's the crazy part. The angel said, okay, we're going to get you outside the city. We're going to use our magic pixie dust, get you out of the city. But then tell them, keep going. Why couldn't they just teleport them like far, far, far away? Why you got to get them to outside the city and then be like, run, run! Just get them out.
They could have took them for
You got the power to bring hellfire and brimstone down on this city.
You got
and destroy the entire
to blind
city.
everybody
Right.
at one time. Okay.
So why just take them right there? That's dumb.
Because they had to, they dropped them, they dropped them off because they had to go finish tearing up the city.
That's like me finding out that a nuclear missile is headed for Atlanta, right? And then I just put you in a car, get you outside the city, and be like, well, Keela, drive fast. But I had a plane over here, and I could have really got you out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It don't make no damn sense.
No.
If you can get them outside the city, get
them out.
They should be in Goshen somewhere by now.
In Goshen?
Goshen.
Okay.
Goshen.
And Lot said unto them, oh, not so, my Lord.
Hold on, partner. That's what he said.
Behold now, thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast shewed unto me, in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die.
Right.
What Okay, this is the King James
Yeah.
version.
So
Okay, that's
the
what I thought.
the thing about it is, Lot is basically saying, "Look, dude, I'm old. I can't make it to the mountains. That's too damn far. I mean, y'all teleported me outside."
Yeah.
So basically, negotiating in the same way that Abraham was negotiating. Like, if an angel walked in here, I know I can negotiate that joker into something. Cause these jokers are easy. They suckers,
Okay.
right? So he's negotiating to say that, bruh, I'm too old. I can't make it that far. You know, so give me something else. But
Behold, oh, I'm sorry. Behold now, this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a
is it not a little
is
one?
it not a little one, and my soul shall live? I like reading. When I was reading the Bible, it wasn't the King James version.
Okay, it was the
because it
American
was
Standard.
yes, the American Standard, because you know we have all these and thous and thithers and all of that mess. So okay, and see, and he said to him, "See, I have accepted thee concerning this also, that I will not overthrow this city for the which thou hast spoken. Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou come thither." Therefore, the name of the city was called Zor.
Right.
Zoar.
So,
Is it Zoar? Or Zoar?
Zoar.
Zoar. Okay. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered Zoar. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fires from the Lord out of heaven.
Yep.
And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of those cities and that which grew upon the ground. But
Hold on.
oh, okay, okay.
So basically, and here's a little thing right here, a little thing right here that I want to throw in there. This book kind of they don't go into it on this, but in here, if you do further research, what you'll see is that how it coincides with the Sumerian story. They basically launched missiles and blew up, nuclear missiles blew up Sodom and Gomorrah, right? And he told Lot, get to the other cities because they didn't think the other cities would be affected. Okay, now in the Sumerian story and in this one, and you can read this guy's book. I forgot the guy's name, but it's called The Evil Winds, right?
Okay.
Because Enlil's mistake was when he blew up Sodom and Gomorrah, he didn't think about the radiation cloud. And in those other cities, they were destroyed by a radiation cloud. When they found the remains of these 7 other cities, it was, you can tell that everybody just left, abandoned city, was just gone, but they left it was kind of like they left everything as it was. Because people were just dying of, radiation poisoning. And they found still minor amounts of radiation to those people. So going from, and it was a southward wind, so it blew into what is southern Iraq and Kuwait and all that area, which is why in the Sumerian story, Marduk and Enki had to escape, and they went to Egypt because of the winds that was blowing the radiation around. So that's why we're going to learn that even in Zohar, them jokers had to leave and go somewhere else. So when it talks about these cities, they kind of like done skimmed over it. And before, in the older Bibles, if you can find an older one, it says 7 cities. The wind of the Lord destroyed this next 7 cities.
Okay.
But this is basically a missile attack.
Okay. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. And
Which is so
Abraham,
funny. I've seen her.
you see, the
I've
pillar
seen
of
her.
salt.
Yeah, I've seen her. There's a rock formation near the Dead Sea, and they say it's Lot's wife, the lady, the pillar of salt. Now she's like freaking a giant, but it's just a rock formation that has slightly similar shapes of a woman. But they use that to say, see, the Bible's true. There's Lot's wife.
A pillar of salt, huh?
But it's rock.
Oh,
it ain't
that's
even
not salt. 'Cause I was about
It got
to say
salt in it because it's near the Dead Sea, and the Dead Sea is like so much salt, like salt pillars stick up.
Yeah,
out
so
of it.
I could imagine it being calcified and things like that. I can imagine that.
But
It's just
it's really rejuvenating though.
the salt. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
heard that.
you lay down in that thing, all your pains go away. Yeah, suck the pain right out.
Oh, I need to go.
Uh-huh.
I need to go. Okay, let's see. And Abraham got up early in the morning
Where you at?
to the place where he stood before the Lord.
Okay.
And he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah and toward all the land in the plain and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass when God destroyed the cities of the plain, and that God remembered Abraham and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow. When he overthrew the cities in which Lot dwelt. And Lot went up out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountain, and his two daughters with him, for he feared to dwell in Zoar. And he dwelt in a cave, he and his two daughters.
Hold
I
on.
am coming for you.
So this is basically what I was saying. So Abraham, he knew this was going down. He knew Now here's what's funny. He knew it was going down. Abraham didn't go to warn Lot. You think now he went and saved Lot when Lot was captured by the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. Mm-hmm. He went and fought a battle, got 316, 18 of his people. They went and fought, gotta save my nephew. But here he's like, oh, you gonna destroy Sodom? My nephew lived there, but I'm 90-something years old. I don't feel like doing it. So he went and looked. Mm-hmm. He didn't know that this Yahweh was going to save Lot. So that's why Abraham, he's up there looking like, that damn God destroyed that city. I told him 10 people, but it got destroyed. So I guess he was thinking, well, God couldn't find 10 people.
10 people.
But Lot went to Zohar because that's what he asked. Now, the angel said, we'll let you get there so that you can live, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to let you get to Zohar so you can live. That's what he said, right?
Yes.
But they got to Zohar and they realized that they're going to die in Zohar because this is where the evil winds, the radiation cloud, was coming to Zohar. So Lot then went to the mountains that he originally said he couldn't get to.
Okay.
You with me?
All right.
Y'all got that? Now he can make it to the mountains because
he can.
The unexpected consequences of a radiation cloud, which is told in the Sumerian text in the Achahesis, right, and the Enuma Elish, is saying that's what happened. Oh. Yes, indeed.
Okay. Let's see. And Lot went up to Zoar and dwelt in the mountains. Excuse me. And the firstborn said to the younger, our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come into us after the manner of all the earth. I'm going to say that again. And the firstborn said unto the younger, our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth.
Now, some of the conscious people are going to get mad at me about this part, but I'm going to break it down so that you can understand it actually in more reality of what they're saying. They're saying there's not a man in the earth. And conscious people will jump on and say that, they know that there was other people. How's there not a man on earth? You only destroyed 7 cities. It's not like the whole earth was destroyed. Mm-hmm. So why are they saying there's not a man on the earth? You know that there's other men on the earth. The reason why they're actually saying this, right, and this is what the conscious community need to actually can understand this better and will be able to explain it better. They're saying this because earlier it said that the 2 son-in-laws came into the house and married the 2 girls. So they came in and had sex with the 2 girls. So now the 2 girls, realizing that they're not virgins anymore, know that they cannot be given, that it'll be difficult for them to be given to any other man that is known.
Okay.
So even though they know that there are men with Abraham's people, there are other men around the Levant area, they are no longer virgins. So not being virgins, then their value is so decreased that it would be very unlikely for them to get married again, which is why Ruth had to do her little treachery to get married again. But that's why they're saying there's no man in the earth, because no man's going to want a non-virgin. I mean, don't no man want some woman who's not a virgin. I mean, who wants a woman that's been having sex before? I mean, gosh, really?
Such foolishness.
I mean, come on. What's up, Byron?
Such foolishness. Hello, Byron.
But that's the mentality of the people of that day, is that if you've had sex with another man, you're worthless.
Yeah.
And these are young girls, so if they're young,
I mean, if they get hard, they're worthless.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was going to throw them to be raped anyway. Yeah. But in this case, you're going to, they get hard. Yeah. But in this case, they like, well, we not had sex, we got married, but then our husband was like, hey, your daddy crazy, but we got that booty. And so now these women feel like they're worthless. And that also speaks to the depravity of these women as well. Because now they're about to get real nasty. Go ahead.
Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father. And he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose.
That's
And
hella-
it
that's
came
hella
past, right. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said to the younger, Behold, I laid yesternight with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in and lie with him, that we may preserve the seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night also, and the younger one arose and laid with him. And he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. I'm going to say that again. Thus were both of the daughters of Lot with child by their father.
So these two girls happen to be ovulating at the same time because Lot got some potent stuff going on. But here's the thing about this: this is deprived as hell because they know they can't get married to another man. So what they're going to do is get pregnant by their dad. That therefore will lock their father in to having to take care of them and their children, his son, grandson. So his son, grandson, yeah, is his child. Now, the thing about this is that I have the daughters rape Lot. True.
Yeah.
The daughters did get Lot drunk and take advantage of it. Now, I have been in my youth in a state of drunkenness to the point where I would not have known really what was going on. It would have been like a dream or something. Like things seemed like they were just a dream.
Oh gosh, we never.
Yeah, I would never do that
Never
again.
ever done that.
Whatever. So, but here's the thing: if a woman, if I had sex with somebody though, in that drunk, well, let me rephrase. Let me real. I have had sex in that drunken state, and I do not remember having sex with the person.
Okay.
But come the morning, I recognized that the area had been utilized. There were remnants in the area, and I was like, "What the? Wasn't that Sam Hale Pickens?" So the idea that Lot fell for it twice,
Right.
fell for it once, shame on me, shame on you. Fall for it twice, shame on you.
But this man is so wise. He don't know that's his daughter.
Yeah.
He don't know that is his
If
daughter.
you in the cave with two people, you know it's your daughter who screwed you. And then this is how they pacified in church. I don't know if y'all ever heard this before. Well, Lot was so grieved by the passing of his wife turning into a pillar of salt that he was just in such a depressed state that he allowed it to happen, which justifies God's plan for what was to come.
I've never heard that foolishness.
Yeah.
Not as far as an explanation.
I have been in some dumbass churches.
I have never heard that. And matter of fact, the churches that they don't even really touch this unless the way they touch it is so light, and then they bounce off to something else
Right.
before somebody, and then they tell the choir to hurry up and sing.
Well, I'm
so
gonna tell you why when we get to a certain point
They can forget about that.
in a few minutes here as to why I've had preachers who try to preach this and who they'll all preach Sodom and Gomorrah, but then they'll stop.
Yeah.
Right? Pillar of salt, that's it.
Yes.
But they won't talk about Lot being raped by his daughters.
No. That's what I said.
I'm gonna tell you why. You go read in a minute why these jokers
don't.
go ahead and preach it. The few that I've had preach it, and then I'm gonna tell you what they don't realize what they're saying and how it's all jacked up, and which makes this a whole big fairy tale. Go ahead, read. I'm sorry.
See, I done told
When I
you.
say read, start reading crazy. Where we at?
Oh, let's see. Here. And the firstborn bare a son and called his name Moab. The same as the father of the Moabites unto this day.
Stop right there.
What happened?
Well, take a seat. Sit back. I want you to understand this and enjoy this. So the reason why I've heard preachers preach this is because they want to establish that from Lot and his daughter came the Moabite people. Okay?
Okay.
When you fast forward to Ruth, jump over numbers and fast forward to Ruth, they will teach you the story of Ruth and how she was a Moabite woman. When Ruth got with Boaz, they had, what was their son, Jesse or Obadiah, one of them jokers. Anyway, from Ruth And Boaz is,
That was Obadiah.
I think it's Obadiah. And then from Obadiah you get Jesse and something like. But I know you get Jesse out of Ruth. You get David out of Jesse.
Okay.
You get Solomon out of David. And keep going
until you get Jesus.
So the fact that she had the son Moab, and that started the Moabite people, is the only reason I've heard a few pastors preach this, so that they can then show the line of from Lot to the Moabite, well, Abraham to Lot, because Lot's his nephew. Abraham to Lot, to the Moabites, to Ruth, to Jesse, to David, to Solomon, to Jesus.
Okay.
But here's your problem. In Numbers 29, 30, 31, it talks about how the Hebrew people during the Exodus genocided all the Moabite people. That no Moabite people existed after the Exodus. And Ruth comes 400 years after the Exodus. So where in the hell you get Moabite people again?
Well, that's a good question.
That is. And you can't get Moabite people if you genocide all the Moabite people.
My question about this is, when it goes through the line or the lineage, and it's saying that Jesus is coming through that line. Now, is this on Mary's side or Joseph?
Both.
Both.
Yep. Because
How was that?
Because when you go through the line, Mary and Joseph are kissing cousins. Shouldn't be surprised. He just had sex with his daughters.
But this is
Abraham's
really,
wife is his sister. We're gonna find that out in chapter 20 in a minute.
And I understand all of that.
Moses' mother is his aunt, and his daddy is also his granddaddy.
So there's a way through these lines to pinpoint that Mary and Joseph came from
Yeah,
the
they're cousins.
same tribe or the
Yeah,
same family.
when you look at I think it's Matthew and Luke it's either Matthew and Mark or Matthew and Luke give the lineage. One gives the lineage of Mary, the other gives the lineage of Joseph. And when you follow that lineage, they wind up being kissing cousins. But either way, Joseph ain't had shit to do with Jesus.
No, not at all. So
birthing
but that's the thing. I would always hear them talk about the line, but they never said that
the true line would be Mary.
It would have to be through Mary.
It would have to be through Mary. But
period.
Let me tell you the thing about that. If y'all saw my 3-minute video concerning the Ogdode, take your butt over there and watch that 3-minute video concerning the Ogdode on YouTube. The Ogdode came in the Ogdode was made out of 4 primordial forces, 8 parts to the 4 primordial forces, both masculine and feminine in each side. But when the Ogdode gained consciousness, it came in the form of Amun. Now, Amun or Amen, you can call him Amun or Amen. Amun, in order for him to not have a father, in the spirit form, impregnated his mother to be born into the conscious realm as Amun. Kind of like Yahweh went in spirit form and R-ed up Mary, got her pregnant to come in the human form of Jesus. Or Yahshua or Yeshua, whichever one name you want to call him. But it's the same, it's an Egyptian story. It's a Kemetic story that they just reshaped to make Jesus. See, most people in Kemetic science will focus on the Immaculate Conception of Hiru because she hovered over his penis, or one story says he was alive just long enough to get her pregnant and then Asar died. But most people will connect Horus with Jesus, but really his birth is more connected to Amun, and Amun, and Moon becomes Amun Ra.
Okay.
Right, so Amun becomes Amun Ra when he absorbs the deity of the sun, Ra, and becomes Amun Ra, which is all just Marduk anyway, from the Sumerians. Now, there are attributes of Horus that is similar to Jesus. So the whole thing is, these are people who knew the Egyptian story, because all this shit was Egyptian colonies at some point, and they were just retelling it in their own way. But this is a joke. But the thing about it, if Lot's oldest daughter's son is Moab, and he's the Moabites, but then the Moabites are destroyed. And when I say genocide, when you read Numbers 29, 30, 31, it will tell you that the Moabite people were all killed. All the fighting men were first killed. Then they brought to Moses the young boys, the women, and all the women.
Mm-hmm.
Moses got pissed off and said, "Nope, kill all the young boys." So without any young boys, no Moabite men will get a Moabite woman pregnant. Then he says, "Kill all the women that's known a man." So they kill all the women who have had sex with another Moabite man. Then he said, "Take the young girls, the virgins, who have not known a man, and make them your wives." So these women were absorbed into
This
the Hebrew
is
people.
sick.
And then 400 years later, magically,
It's sick.
when Naomi and her husband and her 2 sons go because of a famine, they always leaving because of famine. They don't know how to stay home and make it work.
No. So
They go and they get down with, they get to Moab. They go to Moab miraculously. And her daughters, Naomi marries her sons to Oprah and Ruth, who are Moabite women. But they couldn't possibly exist. Therefore, the rest of the shit cannot be true, cannot exist. Go ahead. What time is
All right, hold on.
it? Okay,
Okay.
okay, I was just seeing if I can turn that light off.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let me find out where I'm at. Okay. And the younger, she also bore a son and called his name Ben-Ami.
Right.
The same is the father of the children of Ammon until this day.
Now, Ben-Ami, sound like Benjamin.
Yeah, I for a quick second.
But they
I
gonna
thought
say
it was
Ben-Ami?
Benjamin, but it's Ben-Ami.
Yeah, 'cause I think later on after Isaac and
Maybe.
Jacob, Jacob's had kids, and then he cast the 12 tribes.
Yeah, that is.
So it's not. So Ben-Ami is not Benjamin.
No.
You gotta wait till you get to
Exodus?
Jacob. You gotta wait till you get to Jacob and his 2 main wives, and then all his slave wives. Then you'll get the 12 tribes.
I think that
And
is
he names
Exodus.
one of his sons Benjamin. I think the youngest
Yeah,
one is
he does.
Benjamin.
Yeah.
So this Ben-Ami, don't. If you go off and you're talking about, oh, the Ben-Ami, that was the Benjamin. No, don't do that. You'd be wrong on that one, according to this book.
And Abram journeyed to.
We're in 20 now, so that's 19. Now we're getting ready to go into 20.
Oh, okay. And Abraham journeyed from thence toward the south country and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur and sojourned in Gerar. And Abraham said of Sarah his wife, "She is my sister." And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah. Hold up. He didn't learn the first time,
Oh yeah, he learned. Oh, he learned.
but and he coming back with the same thing. That's my sister.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No,
All right.
whoa, you gotta check out. See, Abraham's a righteous man. Remember, 2 chapters ago, God was like, Abraham,
Yeah,
just
Abraham, this is
walk
my
upright, be
sister.
righteous. Remember, he told Abraham to do
Yes.
that. And Abraham was like, yes. And then they made a covenant. He cut up the animals in halves, but then he shoot the birds away, which mess up the Odu. And then God said, "You messed it up, so I'm gonna punish your people. And 400 years from now, I'm gonna put their ass in slavery." He's gonna put
That's
them in
right.
slavery for 400 years, and then they can come back. But you, Abraham, you're gonna be cool. I'm gonna let you, even though you were the one that committed the offense.
Okay.
I'm gonna punish generations after you.
Absolutely.
That's God justice.
That's how God. That's what God do.
Look, God
That's how
justice
God
is
had
this:
it.
you
He'll
mess
do
up
it.
now, and don't worry about it.
Don't you worry about
He
it.
gonna punish your generations thereafter.
Yeah.
See, that's why, like, when these
The whole
folks,
bloodline gonna be messed
when
up.
some of
That's
these
it.
older Christian folks back in the day and slavery and all that, they ain't worried about them being punished because they like, nah, this God ain't gonna punish me. He's gonna punish like generations from now. They'll be punished. So that's one of the reasons the Hebrew Israelites like, yeah, 400 years, we're gonna be raping you women and all that stuff.
Yes.
Not all of them do that, but
They
enough of them
definitely
do,
have a faction of it.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
so hold on. So Abraham did learn, because if y'all was with us 2 or 3 videos ago, Abraham went to Egypt because of a famine.
Yes.
He told the Pharaoh, hey, he told Sarah, tell everybody you my sister because you hot. You fine as fire.
That's right.
You hot, and I don't want them taking you. Now, this is when they were still young, though. They were younger.
Okay.
They were about 30, 40 years younger. Because right now, at this point, Abraham's like 95 years old. He's an old dude. I want you to keep that in mind. He's like 95, and Sarah's about 85, right? He said that Sarah was so fine that the Pharaoh would want her, and the Pharaoh took her. Was about to make her his wife. Well, no, made her his wife because he had sex with her. But then a plague hit the Egyptians. After God said, "Whoever is good." Now, when he took her, he gave Abraham some stuff. He blessed Abraham. Now, previously, God said that whoever blessed you, I'm gonna bless them. But because Pharaoh slept with his wife, he then put a plague on Egypt. God's a liar. So
Absolutely.
Then when the Pharaoh realized what was going on, he gave Sarah back. Sarai at that time gave her back, and then gave Abraham slaves and cows
Yes.
and donkeys and
After he
gold,
brought an entire plague
all that
on the
stuff.
kingdom.
He gave him all that stuff back,
Yeah.
and then told Abraham, "Go on, leave." And Abraham left way richer than before because he pimped out Sarai.
Sarai.
Which she was Sarai back then.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's about 30, 40 years later. Abraham and Sarai. Now it's Abraham and Sarah. He old as shit now. He 95.
Yeah.
Sarah 85. She ain't 45 no more. She 85 fine.
80. Okay.
But still rolled up into Amalek, up into the kingdom, Amalek's kingdom, and Amalek said, "God damn, that 85-year-old woman."
Sarah had
What?
to been something serious.
I'm serious. If I made a rejuvenation cream, I would call it Sarah's cream.
The Sarah, no Sarah.
Sarai.
Yeah,
I would call it.
that.
No, I'm gonna call it because she's Sarah at this point. If I'm saying, get your glow back, get your youthful exuberance, have a jar of Sarah's cream. It will make you fine at 85. That even
understand.
Amalek will take you in.
No.
So Abraham knows what he's doing. He's like, I played this con 40 years ago. Let's run it back.
See if I can do it
like
again.
the Bill Cosby and Portier movie. Let's do it again.
All right.
All right. Don't think he ain't stupid. He know what he doing.
Oh, okay. But God came to Amalek in a dream by night and said to him, "Behold, thou art but a dead man, for the woman which that you have taken, she is a man's wife." But Abimelech had not come near her. And he said, "Lord, wilt thou slay also a righteous nation?"
Hold on. I just want to say real quick on one of my 3-minute videos, if y'all go back and find it, where a dude was complaining because I said that Abraham pimped out his wife. He was like, no. Because when you read Genesis, he didn't touch. I was like, no, bruh. You talking about Pharaoh. I'm talking about Pharaoh. You talking about Amalek. So you can't sit up here and say that these men didn't marry her. Because they did. They had sex with this chick. Now Amalek,
well, not Amalek
right,
though.
and that's why I
but the
corrected
Pharaoh
him. And I
did.
said,
Yes.
Amalek didn't, but don't try to raise your argument when I'm talking about Pharaoh. And see, that's how they'll try to do you. They'll try to say that, no, they didn't do it because when you look at Genesis 20, he didn't do nothing to that woman. He didn't touch that woman. It's like, no, bro, we talking about Pharaoh had sex with that woman. I did not have sex. That was Amalek was like, I did not have sex with that woman. He was able to say that.
Yes.
But you have to make sure that when you are having discussions, not debates, discussions with these people, that you got to know where you are and know what's going on and stick to your guns on this so that you can understand the difference between these very similar stories. Because it's the same damn thing, because these people do not have any kind of creativity, but just keep rehashing the same story in the Old Testament. Because now he's doing that to Amalek, but Amalek didn't touch Sarah, right? Because God came to him and gave him a dream. I don't know why he couldn't do that to Pharaoh. Could have saved some plagues. But we know this guy's like killing people.
Yeah, he don't rock with the Egyptians, so he was just waiting.
Want to kill them. Right, and notice that the Egyptians I want to kill.
Yeah, we don't kill them.
But
get rid of them.
y'all, right. This is why I don't understand how they're Egyptian Christians or Jews either. Why? Why would you be an Egyptian and you be a Christian? This book don't like you.
No,
Just like it don't like women.
Seriously.
It don't like women.
But in all fairness, the Egyptians of today are not the Egyptians of that day.
No, they should be Muslims.
So yeah,
because they Arabs. That's right.
They're Arabs.
They need to get with Aben Sahi and Amalek and Malik.
Yeah,
that's their father.
So okay, let's see. Said he not unto me, she is my sister, and she even said she herself, he is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and innocency of my hands have I done this. And God said unto him in a dream, Yea, I know that thou didst. Here we go. Sorry.
Next time we'll get the regular version.
Please.
All right.
Okay. Here we go. And God said unto him in a dream, Yea, I know that thou didst this in the integrity of thy heart. For I also withheld thee from sinning against me. Therefore suffered I thee not to touch her. Now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet, and he shall pray for thee, and thou shalt live. And if thou restore her not, know thou that thou shalt surely die, thou and all that are thine.
So, I mean,
Wow.
he kind of cool. He said, look,
I-
that heifer lied to me. This is Amalek.
God kind of
He
looked out for
lied
him.
and she lied.
That's not.
I didn't know that they were lying. And you gotta understand, back in these time frames, a king had to, if a good looking woman came into a town and she wasn't married to anybody, the king had first dibs on all the women.
Mm-hmm.
You probably never saw History of the World.
No.
It's good to be the king. If you've seen History of the World, you'll know that reference.
Okay.
It's good to be the king.
I bet.
Yeah, because the king can get it. The king can get it from anybody in the kingdom, long as they not
Anytime.
married.
Okay.
And sometimes even when they married, but as long as they ain't married, he can get it. So Amalek's like, hey, look, I'm following the rules,
I'm
here, bro.
about to say David now.
Right.
That she was married.
Now,
All the way.
this is also a trope that they do in this book all the time. You got people, Pharaoh. Pharaoh is not worshiping Yahweh.
No.
Pharaoh in this time frame, they got Amun, they got Amun Ra, they got Thoth, they got all these other deities that they worship. The Moabite people, they got Baal. All these people in here, they got Baal. They got all these other gods.
Mm-hmm.
But they write this book as if when Yahweh come to them, they forget that they got another God. That they like, oh, okay, shit, God, the Lord is talking to me.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I had a dream and they came in, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, I'd be like, but I don't worship you.
Right.
Why are you telling me something?
Right.
You know, ain't nobody getting down with you like that, bro.
But
They make it seem like all these people had their gods, but they was always in fear of the Israelite gods.
Mm-hmm.
And that's some straight up propaganda.
And well, yeah, I was just about to say because that's how they wrote it.
Yeah. This book
That's how they wrote
that's
it.
the propaganda.
Because it is it's the upliftment of their culture and their race.
Yeah. And you never get these guys saying, oh, no, until it's convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Until you get Pharaoh and they do their magic. Moses do his magic and Aaron do their magic. And then the Egyptians do the same magic. And we never talk about the fact that, wait a minute, these dudes did the same thing that Moses and them did.
Mm-hmm.
But these jokers are always cowering down. And y'all know that's not real. Because if a Muslim person had a dream and they would never say, oh shit, the Lord came to me. They would be like, no, Allah came to me.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be saying that the Israelite God came to them. They'd be like, Allah came to me and said, that's your wife. Bro, you lied.
Mm-hmm.
But Allah wouldn't, he wouldn't punish the pharaohs if that was their God. It would be like, nah, bro, you need to kill that man and that woman.
Mm-hmm.
So they lied. But go ahead.
Let's see. Therefore, Abimelech rose early in the morning and called all of his servants and told all these things in their ears, and the men were sore afraid. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said unto him, what hast thou done to us? And what have I offended thee, that thou hast brought on me and on my kingdom a great sin? Thou hast done deeds unto me that ought not to be done. And Abimelech said unto Abraham, what sawest thou, that thou hast done this thing? And Abraham said, because I thought, surely the fear of God is not in this place, and they will slay me for my wife's sake. And yet...
Wait. Abraham didn't think that they had the fear of his God in them. So that lets you know that these people worship a different God. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they are still saying that they're acting like these men would have been afraid of their God is utter nonsense and BS. And let me remind you also, when Amalek is the one who took the woman in, but he said, I'm gonna kill you and all your servants and everybody else that's with you.
Mm-hmm.
That is like, this guy just wants to set up things to kill people. Go ahead.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, I couldn't worship this fool.
And Abraham said, because I thought, surely there was the fear of God is not in this place, and they will slay me for my wife's sake. And yet indeed she is my sister. She is the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother. And she became my wife.
Look, I got 3 sisters.
I can't.
one of my sisters, we got the same mother. My other two sisters, we got the same daddy. I don't give a shit. There's no way I would marry my sister. This is your sister, dude. So anytime I've had people who argue the point and say that Abraham and Sarah were not sisters, it was brother and sister, it was an incest. But Abraham himself is in this thing saying that they are brothers and sisters. My nephew always talk about Ramses doing magic, and that means there must be two gods. I'm just saying.
At least there more than one.
Mm-hmm.
Several.
Throw down your staff, turn to a snake.
Several.
Bow. Throw down mine. Just because
Yes.
they lost don't mean they ain't God. You just lost. Hell, Thor loses all the time.
Mm-hmm. And it came to pass when God caused me to wander from my father's house, that I said unto her, This is thy kindness which thou shalt show unto me. At every place whither we shall come, say of me, He is my brother.
So he told his wife to lie.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Abimelech took sheep and oxen and men servants and women servants and gave them unto Abraham and restored him Sarah his wife. This dude just keeps getting blessed over and over again. It reminds me.
Anything goes when it comes to hoes because pimping ain't easy.
Shoot. He keeps on blessing me.
He keep getting blessings.
Boy,
Abraham just
if I was Abraham, I would stick with my God.
but see, no.
Because Abraham.
Because when Abraham wrote up, he like, it's hard out here for a pimp.
Hey, look.
He
And
pimping
God
Sarah.
was like, I understand, my dude.
I got you.
Like, for real. It is constantly people being,
We haven't done Revelations yet.
yeah, there's constantly people being rewarded for doing scummy things. It's beyond me. I don't get it.
Now, all Amalek had to do was just give dude his wife back.
Yeah, no.
But of
he
course,
is,
the propaganda is he gave him oxen, and what does he give him?
He took sheep and oxen, men and women, and gave them unto Abraham.
Now, in the older versions, in the other version, it says he gave him men and women slaves. All right, he gave them slaves.
Oh, is that so?
So when they say that slavery is not in this book, bullshit.
They're
Slavery
just
is
writing it out. They just write
Right.
like how they kind of trying to write it out the history
Mhm.
books. Okay.
Go ahead.
And Abimelech said, Behold, my land is before thee. Dwell where it pleases thee.
Gave the man
Here
land.
we go again.
He done got land, and he got some oxen,
this dude
some sheep, and
Can
what
do no wrong.
And what is he about to get?
And Sarah, he said, Behold, I have given thy brother 1,000 pieces of silver. Behold, he is to thee a covering of the eyes unto all that are with thee, and with all other. Thus she was reproved.
Right.
So-
So he paid them off.
Mm-hmm.
Now y'all gotta understand, 1,000 pieces of silver back then.
Back then.
that's like giving somebody $1 million.
Yeah.
So Abraham never became wealthy based on his own initiative. This story, two times Abraham has demonstrated that he became wealthy by pimping Sarah. You understand? When Abraham and
That's
Lot
right.
had to separate because their flocks were so big and their slaves were so many and all this stuff, and when Abraham went to go fight to save Lot, and he picked all these men, 318 men to go save Lot, Abraham never went out and earned his wealth. Abraham earned his wealth by pimping Sarah to Pharaoh of Egypt and then pimping her to Amalek. Abraham is the first pimp. That's what you got to understand here. Abraham, and that's why I can't do this book. Abraham is the first pimp because he pimped his woman and thought it was all right. Even Amalek couldn't give him the honor saying, I have given this to restore your wife. He said, no, your brother. He called him his brother. He said your husband.
That's right.
He said your brother. Because this joker is a pimp. Abraham is a pimp.
Yeah.
And y'all need to understand that. And when people get mad, you can show and you can prove right here in chapter 20. And I think the other one was like chapter 13, 14. Abraham pimped Sarah twice and got money from it. What do you call a man?
Yeah.
What do you call a man who gets money for a woman?
Profit. A prophet of God.
A pimp.
A prophet of the Lord.
Got him some glass shoes with some fish in it.
Amen and glory.
Go ahead and finish.
Hey!
Go ahead and finish.
So Abraham prayed unto God, and God healed Abimelech and his wife and his maidservants, and they bare children.
When did he curse him? I think somewhere in one of the. Okay, you know what? I know,
I don't
it's not in here.
I'm not aware.
It's not in here.
Mm-hmm.
In one of the older books, it said that Amalek and his wife and his children became barren, and they couldn't have children. And then Amalek has this dream.
This is what it said. Okay, for the Lord, this is the last, the last verse says, for the Lord had fast closed up all the wombs of the house of Abimelech because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. So they just said that before. So
let's understand this correctly.
Yes.
Make sure we understand, because I could be wrong.
Okay.
But let's make sure the spirit is upon me.
Oh.
Let me make sure I got this right. Yeah, just shout about that. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Yabba dabba do. Amalek is the king. The king has a right to any virgin woman, any unmarried woman.
yes.
Now, he should have thought a little something, because Sarah was 85 years old. I mean, she might be fine.
Well, how old was Abimelech?
It don't say.
Okay, well maybe Abimelech.
If he was old
like,
too, because you know, the older you get, you think women your age is fine as well. So he thought Sarah was fine.
Do you?
Yeah, baby, you fine.
Okay.
So Amalek
Okay.
is saying, "Oh, here's a fine ass woman. I want to get down with her. Bring her into my house. Oh, who is this? That's your brother? Okay, brother and sister traveling. You taking care of your sister. Maybe your parents died and she ain't never married. All right, got it. Bet. Took her in. Or maybe her husband, she's a widow. I'm gonna take her in. Then Amalek, with all integrity, with all integrity of how things supposed to happen, has a dream, realizes that, damn, this woman is married. But God, this God at this time, so made it so that the women are barren. So I have to wonder, how long do you need to know if your women are barren? I mean, think about that. How long? He sewed up their womb. So how long was Sarah up in there, being his wife, maybe getting prepared for the night of nuptials, right? So, but how long were these women barren that they had to be able to have children, because God has sewed up their wombs? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So how long were they barren? It doesn't say, but that don't make sense though. You see the illogical aspect of that? That in order for, all right, so my first child was born in 1995, right?
Okay.
But we had actually decided to have children in 1994.
Okay.
Right. Well, in like in early 1994, we decided to have children.
That's nice.
You know what? I don't need you to tell me you was in high school
See?
when I was a grown ass man and I already went to Desert Storm and all that stuff, and now I'm in Europe.
But that's
So,
okay.
hush it. Shush it, woman. Be biblical.
I'm sorry.
I permit my women not to speak,
I'm so
for
sorry.
they do not usurp the authority of a man.
Forgive me, my Lord.
With a lowercase L.
I am so sorry.
But anyhow, we decided to have children in early 1994, right? And we were trying every month, trying to have a child. It took months. It was like it was a year later before we was like, okay, we done had the right time. We got the ovulation stuff. We done figured this. We think we got it right. And it took like that much time, a year, before we said, okay, let's go make sure everybody's good to go.
Yeah.
And then we went and got all checked out and found out, what the situation was. And then we proceeded to follow a different path, and bam, got the time real exact. And there you go.
Okay.
Get pregnant. 7 months later, not pops out. Here comes the child.
Okay.
Right? 7 months later. She was born early. But it took us a year before we realized that there could be an issue. Now, you can't say that this guy predestined and sewing up their wombs, and then that was the reason. Or you might be able to say that that's why Amalek took Sarah. But Sarah's 85. At least 85. So he would not have taken an 85-year-old woman and thought that he can have children with her. So Sarah had to be taken simply because she's fine. And Amalek was just horny.
Okay.
So this whole thing about their wombs being barren is dumb. That part should have been, that the wombs being barren and the children being born should have been left out of this book, because all it does is make you, if you are of thinking mind, question why. That makes no sense to be in this book, in this part of this book. You know, you see what I'm saying? Y'all see what I'm saying with that one? If you disagree with me, it's perfectly fine. I like disagreement sometimes, right?
Pimping.
Yeah. But it don't make any sense to have that in there, because if this is the book if this is not a God of confusion, all that it did right there for me.
Oh, okay, I'm about.
Because when I was reading this when I was 9, the first time I read it when I was 9, I thought at 9 that don't make sense. Like, why is that? I just thought, why is that there? It didn't make sense. As I got older and I started understanding reproduction and all that kind of stuff, it's made even less sense. When I'm 20, 21, I realized this is just stupid. That this is just written by people who can't even think through the process, right? And he's supposed to be inspired by God?
Absolutely.
Makes no sense. So
That's what they say.
you got anything? You got something?
No. I don't.
Y'all got any questions? Any questions or comments from the gallery? But we are, as we just wait and see if y'all have any questions or comments, as we see in this whole story, starting from Lot, we have angels who got to be protected, but then all of a sudden they got all this power to blind people and all this kind of stuff.
Not only do they have to be protected, they are very much human.
They're human.
They have to eat. They have to bathe.
Yep.
They have.
They have to do all these things.
Yeah.
These spiritual angels got to act like humans.
They have. Yeah.
We see that the people want to have some angel booty. Want to get that.
That's right.
Lot offers his daughters, and he's supposed to be righteous, but he offers his virgin daughters. The son-in-law sleep with the daughters, and then be like, nah, bro, I ain't going with you. The angels can't take Lot to safety. They can only take him outside the city. Then they got to negotiate. Well, then Lot negotiates. Then God makes a mistake, and all of a sudden the winds go and destroy 7 of the cities, and then Lot has to run again to the very mountain.
God made a mistake.
Yeah. He was just supposed to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, which the book never tells you why Gomorrah, just Sodom.
This is true.
And y'all know this is where we get the idea of Sodomites. But yet God couldn't find 10 people who were good in the city, although they had been waxing and crying for all the.
Yeah, who's been waxing and crying?
But he couldn't find 10 of them.
No.
It obviously wasn't Lot, because he wasn't waxing and crying.
Well, hold on. Wait. Let's get this straight. It could have been more than 10. God don't mind lying.
Yeah.
So he'll take out the whole thing and be like, hey, it wasn't 10 of them boys,
exactly.
Like it wasn't 10 good folk. And he'll be lying. God lied.
He liked to kill some
as I was reading the Bible, I noticed that the supposed Satan actually tells the truth. And God be the one lying.
Yep.
Whole lot.
Lot
pimped out his daughter. Says, everybody's pimping
he
everybody.
He pimped them out to the stepsons, but then he tried to pimp them out to the crowd, the arm.
Yeah.
But that didn't work. So he got to the city, but then Zoar was going to be destroyed by the evil wind. Go read this guy's book. I forgot the author, but it's called The Evil Winds, and it'll explain all of that more and combine it and show you how the Sumerian story is actually a Sumerian story. And the scientific proof that shows scientific evidence that demonstrates that that's the more likely what happened. The Sumerian version is what more likely happened in accordance with this 7 other cities. And then Lot gets up there. And his wife looks back, and she turned to a pillar of salt for doing this. That's a sin. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Which many churches will teach that and be like, when God has moved you to safety.
All right now.
And you know that man wasn't no good for you. But then you look back. And you go back. And all he does is beat you some more. And all he does is treat you horribly some more. But God done showed you not to look back. That was Lot's wife's problem.
Yeah.
That's what they use that for.
Yeah.
Then they skip over that Lot's daughters raped him and they don't tell you why, because they already had sex with their husband, and that night before they left, and then the husband's like, nah, we ain't going with y'all. And then they raped they
It's okay.
they pappy, and from them you get the Moabites, and the Moabites got destroyed, but then all of a sudden Ruth is a Moabite, which is amazing. It's amazing. It's a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle. And then we moved on to because then you don't hear nothing else from Lot. we done pretty much done with Lot for right now. Just jumps to Abraham, and Abraham's like, damn, God killed all them people for real. I thought he gonna find at least 10 people. I mean, they was waxing for him. Thought he was gonna find. I tried.
Yeah.
Right, but then gives two rats' asses about Lot being in the city. But then Abraham's like, you know what? It's been 40 years. My money looking a little low. Sarah, let's roll up the Amalek's kingdom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pimp you out. You my sister, okay? You know the scam. You my sister.
Okay.
All right. So lie.
All right. No.
He lies. She lies.
Everybody lies.
Miraculously, Amalek knew immediately that he couldn't have any children with none of his wives or concubines or slaves.
Well, yeah, I mean, he wouldn't know that if he was born.
I mean, it just
babies
but
ever
it just
came.
happened. They just got there.
Oh, well, yeah, that's
And then
true.
he's like, now some
That's
people say, well, he already been knowing, but he took an 85-year-old chick who he knew he couldn't have no children. So he must have gave up. And he just want to get some booty. That would be the only reason why he would take 85-year-old Sarah.
Yeah.
But he takes Sarah, has a dream, then it's like, man, take your wife, bro. And matter of fact, take some donks, take some cows, take some other stuff, and I'm gonna give you 1,000 pieces of silver. So Abraham got paid again because pimping ain't easy. That's why he had to go to Amalek.
I'm sorry.
Anything goes when it comes to hoes because pimping ain't easy. So he had to do that. And then Amalek miraculously now, oh, we can have children. It was because I gave them back to Abraham. No, bruh. That part don't even make sense to be in there. So that's your Bible. For those who say that we need to read our Bible.
We're reading our Bible.
We're reading it, and we're reading it in the spirit of knowledge,
And
logic, and then there's wisdom. And the wisdom is this book is a Sumerian story. This book is an evil God. This book is some evil ass angels. This book is some evil ass people. This book has zero respect for women. This book, it condones, God and his prophets condone slavery. This book is genocidal. This book should not be your source of morality.
There we go.
At all.
No.
And when you're approached by Christians who tell you that you need to be a part of, you need to read this book, if the root of the tree is jacked up, I don't give a damn what that New Testament say.
All right.
Because when we get there, it's gonna be horror. You're gonna be on it too.
Oh my.
But it don't matter what that New Testament say. If the root of the tree is spoiled, then all the fruit from it is spoiled as well. You know, that's just the way it is. You know, if you can't eat the fruit from a poison tree and think that you ain't gonna get sick.
Okay now.
These people
And our people are sick.
our people are very sick.
And we have held this book in the highest of esteem, and our people are very sick.
Very incredibly. And
Yes.
we have to realize that in order to break free, as we were saying earlier, how in order for these angelic beings to come into a fleshly form, their soul, which was pristine, their soul, which is both a balance of masculine and feminine, in order for it to come into the human form, well, to manifest on this plane so that they can eat and take a bath and go to sleep, they had to come and dwell in the poverty of the flesh, to which we are all dwelling in that now, because we are spirits we are souls that's on a spiritual journey, and spirit is just the vibration, the frequency that moves things, that manifests things from the mental projection. We are just that, having this earthly experience. But if we allow our consciousness to get bogged down into this man-made book, this man-made religion, then your journey of the soul will not have learned what it needed to learn in order for it to then make the return trip back to a spirit realm, different dimension, whatever you want to call it, outside of the matrix, whatever you want to call it, but go back to that pristine state of balance of masculine and feminine energy where you exist with all knowledge, all knowing, being able to function and do things on a higher plane of existence. In order to make that journey, you have to go through and break away from the conditioning that you were given and start to realize exactly who you are, and then act accordingly here. Act accordingly here. You cannot wait to say, well, I'm going to act accordingly when I get there. You know, the cop-out is, I just got to believe in Jesus. I done massacred and killed all these people, but I believe in Jesus at the very end, and bam, you in heaven. It doesn't work that way. You have to learn the lesson. Hell, you coming back. Your soul going to come back again and try to get it the next time.
I ain't coming back.
So while you're here, you have to realize you have to learn how to raise your masculine and feminine energy to have balance. That means you can't be all masculine where you're trying to rule over people, trying to run people, trying to be a controlling person, but you can't be all feminine either, where you're overly emotional and you emotionalize everything, and and that's how you function. You can't function where you have this imbalance and you have all these insecurities, and you look at people, you look down on these people, but raise up these people, and realize that, hey, we're all a spirit, a soul that's living in the poverty of a body, and I must be kind, but also fair. You know, there are times for me. The Bible does that. There's a time for war and there's a time for peace. Basically, there's a time for, and let me mess y'all up, because let me do the Baphomet position that y'all also see Jesus doing. There is a time of higher consciousness and there's a time of lower consciousness. And the idea is to find balance within the two. Know when to be higher conscious, when to be lower conscious. You come in here, we have a nice, peaceful conversation. Even though we disagree, I'll have higher consciousness with you. But when you come in here and you want to slap my lady, I'm going to beat your ass. It's time for you to get some judgment, some lower conscious stuff. You know, so we have to learn to balance that fairly. So,
we got a few comments. Let me bring it down. Okay.
Right now. Oh yeah, he pimped it. Okay, so
that's
where we at?
Raw and uncut. He said in the in the TV show Lucifer, he always tells the truth, and he said that his father God is the liar.
Lucifer is my favorite show, y'all. I will watch Lucifer. I'll marathon that god doggone show because there is so much good actual wisdom in that show. So much reality of how we actually are in that show. Like Lucifer in that show, one of my favorite aspects that they teach you is that hell is actually you maintaining and holding on to the guilt that you had in your life, right? And the thing about guilt is that guilt is when you take on other people, when you take on the things you've done and you can't forgive yourself.
Yeah.
Whether you've done something to somebody or something happened to you in your life, you holding on that guilt is what puts you in a hell loop, right? If you got to that portion of the show, Lucifer, I'm telling you, if that didn't like click a light bulb on you to start letting shit go, letting go the guilt, okay, you did something. You made a mistake.
Yeah.
Forgive yourself. But truly forgive yourself. And the only way you know you forgive yourself is you start walking differently. You start acting differently. I've done some effed up things in my life. I've done some...
I don't believe you.
Whatever. I've done some things in my life that if y'all knew, you would try to put shame on me. I won't let you because I refuse to hold on to shame. Now, what Lucifer does not talk about is that you have to let go of fear, shame, and guilt and be willing to love in order for you to raise your conscious level. So you cannot live in fear and not do things or hold people to your fears and try to make them live up under you because you're fearful, insecure of things. You cannot allow with the shame of other people. You should be ashamed that you had a child out of wedlock, right? But if you had sex, you got married anyway. Wedlock is not a piece of paper. But if you, ladies, if you've ever aborted a child, don't hold on to the shame. Even if you feel bad, even if you feel some grief about it, but don't hold on to the shame and allow yourself to not live your life because of it, that you can't love another child because I know people who had and I hate to say it this way, a replacement child, but they love that replacement child less because it's not the child that they aborted because they're holding on to that shame. And I know dudes who go out there and they proliferate like a big dog because they got somebody pregnant, there was an abortion had. One particular dude, he didn't want to have the abortion, but because of the way our laws are, he didn't have a choice in it. And he went out, and when I tell you, he bang, bang, bang to try to, and it was all out of the shame and guilt that he was holding on to. And he went out and had a bunch of other kids. And it wasn't until I told him, said, dude, you keep doing this because you feel for that child that you was tried to have, and you're trying to replace it. And he came into that realization, and then he stopped, like dead cold, stopped right then. Stop messing with a bunch of women.
I sure wish you had met him early in his life. I really do. I really do. But okay, go ahead.
Well, truth be told, I knew him while this stuff was going on, and I was trying to tell him through that process.
But he
just wasn't listening.
Okay,
and it was like, it was one of those situations where I'm saying it, and then some other joker says it, and he was like, ding, 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 the lights went off. I was like, what the freaking hell? I've been telling you that for years, Joker.
It happens.
But as long as it happened, So, but and then like, don't hold on to your own personal guilt. You know, you can't hold on to it. I've been around certain people where I had to watch some horrible shit happen, but because of my job, working in the military, I couldn't say nothing because there was this bigger picture. I felt guilty about that for a while, for a long time. I felt guilty that I didn't do something about that, but I knew that that because of the other stuff they were doing, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people were being massacred and murdered. So I was like, I gotta stop this part, so I can't deal with that right there. But I felt guilty for a long time. But I had to release that guilt and let it go, because it wasn't something. If I would have done that, then how many of those other people would have? You know, it's greater good kind of deal. But you let go of the guilt. You know, I've lost businesses. I've done good business. I've lost business, and some people try to make me feel bad about it. But it's like, you know what? I'm still here, and now I got two. So I don't hold on to the guilt. Hell, if I lose these, I'm not going to feel guilty about it. I got divorced before, a couple of times, thrice. I don't feel guilty about it. It happens, you know. I did a video earlier today where I was saying that if a relationship is like a bartering system, you know, if I give you something that has a value of $1,000 and you try to give me something that has a value of, I didn't say it like this, but a value of $100, we're not getting equal value out of this thing. So guess what? I'm going to stop giving you my $1,000 of value, and you just give me $100 value. And you gotta give me back $1,000 of value. That's how relationships really should be. Because if both parties are getting back what they deserve or what they desire, or getting back what they're giving out, then the relationship is going to function a lot better.
But you also have to know who values what.
Yeah,
You
I
know
mean,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Because
that's the bartering. Because I got a cow. I have a cow. You value the cow. I don't.
Yeah.
But you got, you know, some bread. I value the bread, but you don't.
Okay.
So we have to do that.
So it may not necessarily be equal. But
No, it's not the same thing. But
on the value.
And that's the thing. The value given to me has to be what I value.
Yes.
The value given to you have to be what you value. Y'all, let me tell you something. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead. You're gonna get mad at me. I don't care. I don't care. But
see, he already done started saying I'm gonna be mad. Why you gonna say it?
And a lot of people wouldn't. You ain't gonna really get mad at me. A lot of people wouldn't do this. A lot of people wouldn't do this. But when me and Wakila first started dating, I had asked her. I said, "Look, let me ask you a question." I said, and you may or may not remember. But I said, when you look at dating me, when you look at being with me, do you also contemplate and equate the value of financial lifestyle and gain that I could bring to you, right? And
Did?
I asked her that question, and at first she kind of, her face looked kind of like, I got to answer, but I don't really want to say that answer because it's not the politically correct answer to say. But before she could even answer, I was like, no, you need to understand that as a woman, you need to look at a man as far as what financial security he's going to bring, he already got, and what he going to bring. You know, it's like when you got a dude who's always saying, you know, oh, you know, I'm going to open a business. I want to open a business one day. I want to open a business one day. Okay, let me get my McDonald's hat on and go to work. But one day I'm going to open a business, and then I'm going to be able to get you this house. But, and it's cool if he is going to McDonald's. Right? I'm not saying that don't talk to him because he's working at McDonald's, because hell, in Rome, Georgia, they offering $31 an hour right now. But yeah, I know, don't. You ain't going to Rome, Georgia. Stop it. Stop it. You're not going to Rome, Georgia. But it's 2 hours from here. Yeah. One way. Yeah. That driver kick your tail.
Okay, now.
So it's 2 hours. But here's the thing. Okay. And I don't know if you remember this part. I was telling you that I told her, I said, can I give you the big house and the cars, and you ain't got to work, and you can just go shopping, and you can just take care of the house, and you can do all these kind of things. I can't give you that right now. And if you see that I'm not even moving in that direction, I'm not opening, and this is before I open up the cigar lounge. Yeah. And I'm like, if I'm not opening up this cigar lounge and it falls apart, or if I'm not building business in order to give you the stuff that I'm saying that I can do, right? If you don't see me moving in that direction, I mean, I ain't there yet, but if I'm not moving in that direction, then I told her, you should not date me.
Yep.
Or you should break up with me. Don't stay with me if I'm not moving in that direction. But a lot of people won't have that. And after I said that, then she was like, yep, I sure do look at it as what is the future financial.
I needed him to give me a little room to be able to say how I really felt, and he did that.
But that's
yeah, I mean that's real.
That's a
I'm
real
not going to
thing.
be around nobody that can't do nothing
Yeah,
for me. It
she
just don't
ain't.
make sense.
We ain't 20.
Yeah.
When you 20, both of y'all probably broke.
Yeah, it just don't make sense.
Yeah,
For real.
But when you're older, and some women don't, some women and a bunch of damn men don't get that. A bunch of men don't get that.
Oh,
They think that as long as I keep telling you my pipe dream, you supposed to stay.
That's that
No.
potential. I'm gonna.
No.
He has potential.
No.
No, we don't do that.
And like last year and the year before, I wasn't in. Last year I had opened the popcorn
See,
shop.
hold on, real quick.
Uh-huh.
So see, I know you done did your relationship before.
Yeah.
You know, I've actually seen some of your relationship videos in the past and stuff.
Come on.
But I'm just saying, maybe we should hold this conversation for perhaps a relationship.
Okay, we'll hold that for a relationship topic.
Because this here is Genesis.
Yeah, this is Jensen, and we have some other questions. Let me get to that.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm just saying,
But yes.
y'all need to let go of your fear, your shame, your guilt, and learn how to love equally. To raise your Kundalini energy, if you want to put it that way, open your chakras, to elevate yourself to a higher conscious state of being. Hell, us black folks don't look back when the cops are behind us. You damn right, we're gonna keep it running. My journey started with Dr. Ben.
Dr. Ben.
I remember that name.
Ben, Dr. Ben. I always mess up his last name, so I'm not gonna try to say, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
I agree. I think that's when we was talking about how you
Mr.
need.
Ben
you gotta think
and
more.
Clark and yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
All
I got
of
it. I
that.
got it. Facts. Jesus ain't enough.
I'm
Jesus ain't never been enough.
No.
The show Lucifer.
Not at all.
Telling you, y'all need to watch that show Lucifer. That's a good show. Facts Renz, love that show.
DSW1, what's up? He said he loves the show.
Oh yeah, Lucifer.
That
Have
show.
you watched it?
No.
We gonna binge it.
But see, I don't watch television. He
Yeah.
was just knows I don't have
Yeah, she
any
don't really
television
watch
in my
television.
house.
I'm gonna have to check that show out. Yep, I think it's on Netflix now. I needed to hear this. Yeah, I'm glad. Thank you, bro. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know,
That's awesome.
I'm trying not to be a spiritual leader. I'm really trying really hard not to be one because I don't want to be one. That's why I kind of like went dark for a little while and just talked about like business and money and relationship because I was like, I don't want to do that.
But he's gonna come right back to this because it's all in him. It's all in him to free
Oh, well.
some minds.
I don't want to do
so I know, baby. He don't want to do what
Oh,
he gonna do.
I'm the reluctant servant. Don't be telling me. But yeah, so we will do a relationship video
gonna do
live
that. Okay.
soon. We can break that kind of stuff down even more so, you know. But let me tell you something. I always sometimes when Wakila be acting up, I'm like, girl, you better secure the bag. Quit acting out now. Secure the bag.
Well, I act
You
out.
better get right.
I don't act out.
Secure the bag now.
I don't act out. I'm always.
Cause we doing things in this lounge and we're gonna do
And
some more
that we are.
things.
We
Yeah.
just, matter of fact, we just did a show. I did a show.
Yep.
This past Saturday, and that was cool. And
Yeah.
I debuted
The
some of
house
my
was
new
packed.
material. Oh gosh, was it?
The house was packed.
Was it? We had a really good time.
So you better secure the bag, girl.
I hear you, baby.
I'm saying, secure the bag. I say that for a relationship video. We're gonna call it securing the bag. Securing the bag.
Securing the bag. All right.
Ah.
Man, talk to my sugars and let my baby girls know it's good.
What's the name of the cigar lounge? Oh, Smoking Phoenix Cigars. Well, Smoking Phoenix Cigar Lounge. Smoking, I-N-G. I don't know why people be doing I-N with an apostrophe. It's smoking.
Really?
Yeah, it's smoking. It being the slang term.
Yeah.
I really don't do slang terms. I try not to. Every now and then I will, but if I am, most of the time I'm just messing around. But it's Smoking, I-N-G, Phoenix Cigars. We're in Stone Mountain, Georgia, 5385 Five Forks Trickham Road, Stone Mountain, Georgia. And we're open 10 o'clock Sunday through Wednesday till midnight, Thursday through Saturday.
Yeah.
Been open for just over a month now. Got a nice selection of cigars. And I'll be opening up the online portal for it sometime this week because I do cigar reviews as well. And you can find Smoking Fingers on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. These characters seem wicked. They are.
They are extremely wicked.
But that's the thing that's the.
Extremely wicked.
Let me tell you. Here's the swerve on that though. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
You sure?
Yes.
The swerve on that. They want you to see people who are more downtrodden and wicked than you are, but God redeems them all the time. The ones that are not wicked, this God seems to punish them.
Yes.
When we get into, I think it's in Exodus when we get into, or is it no, it's in Genesis when we talk about Jacob and Esau, right? Yeah, it's in Genesis.
Okay, yeah, that's nice.
Esau get tricked by Jacob 2 times to give up his hair. He actually get tricked twice. First over a bowl of soup, and then Jacob just straight up steal his stuff. Then when Jacob comes back, Esau's like, man, even though you took my birthright,
Yes.
I still made a
It's
bunch of
okay.
damn money. I still was a righteous dude.
You my
and
brother.
you my brother.
That's right.
And Jacob is still like, all right, bro, go ahead on. I'm gonna meet you at the house. And he's like, man, shit, I ain't going to the house. I'm going over there.
Yeah.
And still roll out on his brother. Esau gets treated, but then Jacob is the one that the whole tribes of Israel come out of.
And he is the scummiest
Right.
of them all. Like he
And,
in birth, he was dirty.
Uh-huh.
Coming out the womb,
yeah.
he was dirty. He took Esau. Didn't he take Esau
Held him by the heel.
by the heel?
Little ankle biter.
Okay. And I believe his name,
Yeah, Jacob means like trickster,
the name
liar, or
itself,
something like that.
yes, is that. And all throughout the Bible, that's what you will see. You'll see a whole bunch of people who, even David has a heart of God. If David has a heart of God,
If we do songs and we get to David having a heart of God,
if
so here you go, fellas. If you want to have a heart of God,
tell him what to do.
this is what you need to do. First, in order to please God, right, you got to go kill a giant, right? Then, in order to please the king, you got to go get a whole bunch of dick skins, because he went and got a whole bunch of Philistine
That's
dick
right.
skins.
That's right.
Then, what you got to do is when you become king, if you see a butt naked woman taking a bath and you want to have sex with her,
You go get him.
first you go get her, but you kill her husband though, and make sure her husband is your friend. All right, so the bro code don't work with David. David goes and screws
No.
his friends, because remember that dude was his friend.
Absolutely. But then then he goes and he sets his friend up.
Yeah.
So that he'll be killed. And then he takes the wife.
Takes the wife in her mourning. Takes the wife.
Because at first he was trying to get him to go back home.
Right.
And sleep with his wife.
Exactly.
So that he would believe that baby was
Right.
his.
That's what I'm saying.
Not only
So wait, that's what I'm saying. He got her, boned her.
got her
Then
pregnant,
when dude came back, he tried to trick him, go on to your wife, so he won't know.
got her pregnant.
Got her pregnant.
That's what-
Because you know they
okay.
got that potent sperm. Got her pregnant. Then comes back
Then.
and sets him up to die. Then
There we
takes
go.
his wife. Then when the child is born and the child dies, he's in mourning. But then after when the child is sick, but then after the child died, he like, all right,
Well,
we
you know,
good.
I got to get over that.
And then bone the
Moving
woman
on.
again.
Moving
This
along.
woman who did not want him,
From the jump.
so she is involuntarily having to sleep with this man.
Yeah, when they say that he took her, it's like they just. That's not. That woman was married to an entirely different man.
Now, mind you, if you want to be righteous,
Yeah.
hey. You ain't gonna say, yeah, you said that, yeah, too early for this one.
Okay, hold on. Man.
You wanna
I take
that one
that back. I
Take
take
it back. If you want to be righteous, you got to go have you about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 20 wives now. Because David had a bunch of wives.
Yes.
David had a bunch of wives, and he had some concubines. So if you want to be righteous, you got to get you some wives and some concubines.
That's right.
So ladies, don't get mad if he got girlfriends, because that's a righteous man.
Show is.
And he got more than one wife. He's righteous.
He like David.
Yeah, he like David. And go
He like
dance
David.
and dance
Dancing
butt
like
naked.
David. That's
Dance
right.
butt naked. Got to dance butt naked.
That's
He's
right.
righteous.
You want that righteous man?
Mm-hmm.
If you're a Christian woman, you shouldn't have no problem with him doing whatever it is he want to do, because
And
that's what they do.
And if you
in the Bible.
Boaz, because they be, oh, I want a Boaz. I want my Boaz. You gotta remember, Boaz saw Naomi shuffling getting the little leftover wheat,
Mm-hmm.
and so that means you gotta be a creepy old man looking at the little young girl, and then you gotta say, hey, leave that young girl a whole bunch of weeks, good weeks. So you gotta be willing to pay for the booty.
So that she can go.
You gotta be creepy. You got sugar daddy. So you want to be righteous like Boaz. You got a sugar daddy.
Boaz was a sugar daddy.
But yeah, because she up there shuffling some wheat, then he give her some good wheat. You gotta show. You gotta. Yeah.
I'll let you have it.
You gotta do that. And then Ruth, if you're gonna be a woman of Ruth, then you gotta be like, get down with your mother-in-law. But like, how can we scam on this old man? Well, girl, what you do? You get all nice and pretty, and when he go in after the festival and lay down in the little place,
You go ahead and sneak up in that baby.
Sneak up in there and lay at the bottom of his feet, showing that you submit to him.
Yeah.
And then y'all spend the night together, and you know what they did all night. They got that booty going. They getting it in.
Now,
Then-
I wonder how many Christian women would be married if they would do what Ruth
Hey,
said, 'cause they keep talking about that. So just go ahead and climb up in
Yeah.
the man
Yeah.
bed that you know.
Right, go ahead and trespass
just-
into a man's house
You know.
and lay at the bottom of his feet. Submit yourself. Get that booty. Then Boaz then the man got to be like, look, don't tell nobody what we did. This is a secret. Then Boaz go to the council of the other elders and be like, hey man, somebody got to do something about Naomi and Ruth. That Moabite woman, and you know that she got that young Moabite woman. She gonna want some children. And the older senior was like, elder was like, man, I'm too old. I ain't got time for no babies. You know what, bruh? Don't worry about it. I get it. I'll take her. You got to Jedi mind trick people. You got to Jedi mind trick them. You do the Jedi mind trick. That's Boaz. Jedi mind trick, sugar daddy. He the Jedi sugar daddy. I'm just saying. If you gonna be righteous,
argue with you.
and if you really want to be righteous, you gotta pimp your wife. Just saying.
And this is the head. This is
Abraham.
The head. This is Abraham of the Abrahamic religions.
So that goes for the
of
Muslims
Judaism,
too.
Christianity, and Al-Islam.
You gotta pimp your wife. When you get your second wife, your slave wife pregnant, because remember Hagar was his slave wife. When you get the slave wife pregnant, and your first wife get mad, just send her and her pregnant self out into the wilderness. Like you don't give a shit. You be like, all right, go on out to the wilderness. And then later on, next video, we'll talk about how you did that shit again. Abraham is very repetitive. Like you can tell his patterns.
I'm about to say he got patterns.
Yeah, you can see what his patterns are. So yeah, I'm just saying, y'all.
You know, yeah.
People say we need to read this book, y'all.
Y'all don't really want us to read
This is
book.
why I'm not Christian.
This is
because I read the book.
Exactly, and that's what people don't understand. When I was a Christian, listen.
Oh, you church hurt.
I was in the church, choir director, praise team.
Oh, she was in it, y'all.
I was in it. When I watched television, I watched Christian television. When I listened to radio, it was gospel.
You was running around
Whatever
church,
it was. Oh, I drove around with a Bible in my in the back of my car,
You speaking tongues?
in my pocket. And I spoke tongues, and I ran around the church. Oh, see, you was a deacon. All right, bro. You feel me?
I was a deacon too for a minute, but they knew I didn't believe that shit when I was though.
Oh.
They just wanted me to help them run the church.
Well, see, the thing about it is, once I explained to my deacons what I had learned after actually reading the book, they really just wanted me to continue to come sing. That was the main thing. They wanted me to continue to come sing, because a lot of people go to church for the choir.
Right.
They go for the music. So they was like, oh, okay, you know, but then I drew the line when they were like, they wanted me to teach the children. And I told them I was not going to be a part of that
talking, turn the sign off.
indoctrination. So I left the church. Oh, okay. So I left the church. And it was because I actually got into the book. I wasn't church hurt. I love those people. It broke my heart to leave those people. But there was no way that I was going to be leading them in a direction that I knew wasn't helping us. When I got into the church, and it was funny because I was coming from Al-Islam. Now, so 30 years, yes, Al-Islam. 30 years of being a Muslim. Then going into Christianity. Yes, 30 years of being a Muslim. Then I found Jesus. And I went to church, and then I started that spiritual journey, because Islam wasn't as spiritual as Christianity. And I think that I was looking for that.
I'm surprised you didn't become a Jew after that, since you was going down the line.
I was never going to be a Jew, because Muslims and Jews don't rock.
Right.
So as far as I knew, and this was before, because what I knew, what they teach you in school, there's three major religions.
Right.
There's Judaism, Christianity, and Islam.
Mm-hmm.
Pick one. So my family didn't want to be Christian because my parents were rebellious. So they ended up in a Nation of Islam and then followed with Malcolm X into Sunni Islam.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I was born and raised into Sunni Islam, or Islam, either way. And but once I got into the church, number one, I started to see that people were real docile, and no matter what happened to us, they would not make a move in the church. And I also noticed that the pastor would never speak
And I know how you
to
hate
them in a way.
I know how you hate docile men.
But anyway,
That's a whole nother discussion. Don't even go there.
that's a whole nother way. We ain't gonna go there. But once I got the book and started reading the book, that is what made me come up out of there. Because what you hear in church is you hear a little bit of this, a little bit of this scripture. We're gonna take this scripture from the from the Old Testament. We're gonna try to match that up with the new, some scripture in the New Testament, and you never really read it. You listen to what your pastor is saying.
Yep.
And you take from what he's saying, or if he say read this little. Today we gonna preach on one verse.
Yep. It's the modernized slave Bible, just taught to you
One
orally.
verse. Yes, exactly.
I'm only going to teach you the parts that
Exactly.
keeps you a slave.
And
That's
that's
it.
what they do.
Because if I teach
Still
you,
to this day.
if they were to teach you this whole book of Genesis like we've been doing, so if you just now finding us, like Nisi just now finding this, we've done Genesis from
Genesis 1. Yeah.
and then we're up to 20. If they taught you this whole book as you go, there's no way, and then went word for word, verse for verse.
Yeah.
There's no way the church will be empty.
Yeah.
By the time they get to 20, the half the people be gone.
Yeah. But I mean, that's unless you have a pastor who just that nice. He can work that.
Some of
and
this
there's
shit-
some people, because some people they
some of this
just
shit you
want to
can't work,
believe.
but some of this you just can't work out.
I agree.
Because
I totally agree.
because the contradictions will be there.
Mm-hmm.
You will see all the contradictions. Like, Baby wasn't doing the videos with me when I first started doing them. But like when we did Noah and his story, the first thing is he tells Noah. People never think about when he says, Noah, take 7 pairs of unclean animals. But don't connect that it's not until Leviticus that you get what is an unclean animal. And then when he get off the boat, he tells Noah, hey, just like I gave you every shrub and every green thing on the earth to eat, I now give you everything to eat. Which means the unclean animals as well. The reason why he said everything is because there's no such thing as an unclean or a clean animal when Noah was there, when Noah was on the boat. But they mention clean and unclean because the people who are writing this are writing it at 500 BC when they already have Leviticus and they have the unclean and the clean animals, when they hated the Philistines for eating pigs and they hated the upper kingdom of Israel for eating pigs and the Babylonians and all them for eating pigs. They already had that. Just like they already had circumcision. Egyptians practiced circumcision, the Babylonians practiced, the Assyrians practiced it, but the Philistines didn't. And they hated the Philistines, so everybody got to be circumcised because we can't stand them damn Philistines. And the northern kingdom of Israel sometimes don't circumcise, and they were captives of Babylon, so we got to make sure we separate ourselves from them because Jehovah keep on kicking our ass. El keeps on taking care of us, but fuck it, we gonna worship Jehovah because El, you too nice. Jehovah be doing some punishment. But they don't teach you that because they can't. And they don't break down what Elohim actually means. No. That is multiple
More than
gods.
one.
That's masculine and feminine gods. That's gods and goddesses. It's basically telling you the Anunnaki were male and female and there was a bunch of them. And they would come down and they would do stuff. And they would mess with man. And they dumb down man. They shorten man's lifespan. Which all correlates to what the Sumerian story says. It correlates to if you read the I forgot what the Mexican books is called, but when you read about Quetzalcoatl and all them, Quetzalcoatl and them, they have a council of the gods, and Quetzalcoatl is like, look, we've made these. They did the same thing that the Anunnaki did. They spliced the genome of man to make them more like the gods. But then when man was able to have that sixth sense, they said, nah, they too much like us. They were too unruly. So then Quetzalcoatl, oh gosh, why am I telling you this? Because I know where you're going to go. I'm just going to go there for you. Then Quetzalcoatl said, in order to dumb down man's ability to have a sixth sense, we are going to spray a vapor in the air so that man will be dumbed down and not be able to use his full potential. And wait, I'm gonna tell you another one just so you can really get it. When you read the story of the Yoruba story about the Orishas, there's a part in the Orishas where they said man was too damn smart, so they put a vapor in the air and stuff in their food, no, in their water. They put stuff in their water, not air. They put stuff in their water to dumb down man, which basically calcifies the pineal gland.
Right.
Yeah. And go here with the vapor in the air.
Chemtrails.
I knew she was gonna go there. But these stories and the stories of
Stay
Quetzalcoatl,
woke.
but the Quetzalcoatl stories actually match up with the Sumerian stories of the different gods. Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, is the same name that they called Enki. Enki is the feathered serpent as well. And so it says in the Sumerian text how Enki, Enlil, and Harsag, all of them, Ishtar, grabbed people groups, grabbed up people groups out of the Chaldean area, southern Africa, this Apsu, and said, okay, there's gold over here. Give me a bunch of these people, and flew their asses over there because it said they came down, the sky people brought them there and dropped them off and built their society, which is why there are pyramids all over the damn place, because they build the same type of construction, and we don't even go there. And that's what the Sumerian story and all the Aboriginal stories also talks about how the gods brought the people to this land, planted them in this land, and had them digging gold and built societies. But they all got too smart and they sprayed stuff in the air to make them dumb as hell.
So you telling me this chemtrails is ancient technology?
Oh, that's ancient shit. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's just like when the Americans came into the concentration camps in World War II, and they noticed that there were big ass water tanks over here for the Germans, and there were two water tanks for the Jewish people, and they said that none of the Germans drink
that's
that.
what they use. Yeah,
is because the Germans told them that they put fluoride in the Jewish people's water in order to, and they said it made them more docile, made them slower, so that they wouldn't, like have a prison break. And when the Americans found that out, they brought that back to America, all of a sudden they convinced the Dental Association to start pushing and promoting fluoride. And they start putting it in the water and all that kind of stuff.
And all in the toothpaste.
Because my dentist actually told me, and I wish he hadn't moved, was like, dude, I will never. He was so against fluoride. He's like, fluoride destroys your teeth.
Yes.
He was like, it's not something you should ever put in your mouth. It destroys your teeth and your gum line.
You remember, milk does a body good.
Yeah, and that's a bunch of BS.
So, yes. So every time you turn around, they're telling you that, oh, oops, we're sorry. That thing that we said that was gonna, that was really gonna help you and prolong your life is gonna kill you.
And
My bad.
I think I'm probably wrong, but I know it's an Asian old story, either Vietnamese or Taiwan, somewhere around in there, where their gods wanted to dumb down the people, so they made them start drinking cow milk and goat milk.
Wow.
And because they knew that after a certain age, you stop drinking your mother's milk, which that gave you energy and that gave you that foresight and increase your pineal gland, but made them drinking goat milk and cow milk into their adulthood so that they'll be like all jacked up, shorten their life. It was to shorten their lifetime.
That's crazy. That's why
they wanted man to stay on milk so that they would shorten their lifetime. And what do we know today? Dairy products create mucus in your body, which causes you to be able to have bacteria and viruses to live inside your body. That's why the only milk I drink is cream in my coffee.
I only drink like oat milk and almond milk.
Yeah, I don't even eat ice cream no more. Except on rare occasions.
I don't.
I love some ice cream.
Ice cream, I like.
I haven't had ice cream in like a year.
I love ice cream, but I'm not gonna fight it because it don't like me.
Well, they don't like me either. Because you ain't supposed to be drinking that shit.
I do. Yep. Almond milk.
I ain't drinking no
oat
damn
milk,
almond milk.
Walnut milk. Have you ever had that? But we.
I can't because it's okay. This is stupid.
Okay. You gonna tell
This
your
is
story, and then we
stupid.
gonna go. We gonna let these folks.
It's real simple. I
What?
can't. I don't drink almond milk
Uh-huh.
and all that because in my mind I'm drinking nut milk.
And what's wrong with nut milk?
It's just the thought process of nut milk.
You need help. Because
I know.
is you serious?
I'm dead serious. Because nut milk from a man is the same color as nut milk that y'all drinking. I can't bring myself to it.
What you're not gonna do is ruin it for me. That's what you're not gonna do. We going. Cause see,
I know it's stupid.
tell your folks.
I gotta raise my my vibration.
Yes.
On the nut milk. We still working on it, y'all. We still working on it. I'm still a work in progress.
But yeah,
I'm raising I'm raising my vibration. I'm
Spirit's
raising my
still working
vibration.
on you?
I'm still working on it.
Good.
I'm gonna have to meditate after we finish all this anyway. I gotta do some meditation. But
Okay.
meditation is a great way for you to raise your consciousness, for you to be able to elevate your consciousness. So if you're not meditating, you should. If you're not sleeping to
Tone.
tones, the frequencies, the what is it, binaural?
Binaural? B-I-N-A-R.
Yeah, I can't say it because you're saying that. I can't.
It's B-I-N-A-R.
I can't say it now. Like I want to say binaural beats.
That's it.
Yeah.
There we go.
But if you're
Okay.
sleeping to those, help get your vibration. I have I also got a Tibetan
Yeah.
bowl that we
singing bowl.
little singing bowl, get you a
Yeah.
sound bath going, but also helps you in your meditation. Yep. And my baby always calling me a warlock. I am.
It's okay.
Do you believe in magic? Hey, look, they got magi in the little book. So, magicians, wise men, and wizards actually mean wise men.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Well, they messed that.
And
whole
witches
thing
is
up,
the
which-
female
the
version
whole
of a
thing,
wizard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they made it evil.
Yeah.
Well, because it's not Jesus, so is anything that's going to.
Although Jesus was practicing magic too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and
What?
because think about it. When Jesus said, when that woman touched the hem of his cloak,
Okay.
he
Yeah.
said, and I've seen pastors like skip over this real quick. I felt the power go out of me.
Mm-hmm.
If you are God, how do you feel? How does power leave you?
Mm-hmm.
If you God, you God all the time. If you read the Kabbalion, it says that the all is all, that the all can never not be all, that the all can never lose any part of himself nor be separated from himself. So if the all loses power, it is no longer the all. If the all has separated itself from himself, which is Jesus said, "Why have you forsaken me?" Then you're not God, because God can never not be God. No piece of God can never not be that consciousness of God.
And I totally agree
So
with
when
you.
the power go out of him, how does the power go out of you if you God, bro?
That's not God. That's Jesus is the Son of God,
Right. So he had just,
not God.
but that's an energy transfer.
But that depends on which Christian you speak to.
Oh, but they
It
say,
really depends on which Christian.
but they say he's all in one because the Council of Nicaea, they decided at the Council of Nicaea that Jesus and God are one and the same, which means that for the first 300 years of Christianity, that was not the general belief.
Absolutely not.
More people believe that Jesus was a separate entity, separate creation.
That he was a prophet.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's what in Islam, that's what they believe Jesus is a prophet.
And even some of them reach. If y'all were here on another video when Melchizedek came up to Abraham hanging out with the king of Sodom, that was his boy. They were like, because nobody knows Melchizedek's lineage, some Christians go and put that Jesus,
That was
Melchizedek
Christ,
was
and-
Jesus.
yeah,
And that's
and,
why Abraham gave him 10%
whole 10
of what they took from the battle.
So don't-
Not 10% of everything he had, just what they
No.
took from the battle.
And definitely not every week.
And not every
You sure
week.
didn't go to look for him every week
Mm.
to give him 10% of nothing. So,
So we have kept you guys long enough. She got to go to work in the morning.
I
I got to go work
do.
in the late morning, afternoon.
yeah.
So I can sleep in a little bit. Actually, I can't. I got to get up and work out. I got to get this dad bod right. So y'all have a great day.
trying to-
You and me.
Oh, okay.
I know what she's going to say before she even say it. So as always, you got to free yourself. We
You're
appreciate
welcome,
you guys.
y'all.
Thank you. Keep subscribing. Thank you, Nisi, for subscribing.
Yes, darling.
And
Yeah.
so remember, you got to free yourself to be yourself.
Because your greatness is non-negotiable.
Good journey, good vibration.
Yes. Y'all be easy now.
Too silly.